Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're well. It was the interview of the decade that made headlines across the world. Now, Prince Andrew's infamous sit-down with Emily Maitlis has been dramatised in the upcoming film Scoop.
I can't wait for it. Based on the memoir written by former Newsnight TV producer Sam McAlister, it will retell everything that went into making that interview happen.
Yeah, so in a moment we're going to be chatting to Sam, but first we have a global exclusive of what's to come. Take a look.
This is the story. The only story. I want it for us.
Thursday, 2 p.m, the Palace. 2 chairs in the middle of the floor, 6 feet apart.
Your Royal Highness.
I mean, that's a trailer, isn't it?
That's such a great
trailer and a half.
Sam joins us now.
I don't breathe when they play it. I'm honestly, I'm going to pass out. I didn't breathe. That's amazing.
Well, how does it feel to know that they're making this from your memoir that you found so easy to write? What is it like, that feeling that you've got your own movie?
Oh, honestly, it's completely bonkers. I mean, you know, the levels of surreal here are just so insane. I mean, you know, I left to write a book. I'm not putting myself down, but I'm a nobody. You know, I managed to get a contract to write a book. Couldn't believe it. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine it would get turned into a movie. It's a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
And P.S., I'm being played by Billy Piper and Gillian Anderson, isn't it? I mean, am I on, like, 10 caffeines? I mean, this is a lot. It's a lot to take in.
So just to go back, when you left Newsnight and you started penning your memoir...
Exactly.
This wasn't just Prince Andrew, was it? It was a lot of other different people and just your time basically sort of booking the, our sort
Yeah,
of
I had to find 10 other people to get to the bit that I knew would probably be the bit that everybody read. Lots of people just read the last 3 chapters, completely understandably. But, yeah, I wrote about my entire career.
And I'm just interested. I'm so sorry. Do you do a diary or something? How do you remember all of these events? Like, as soon as you met me, you went, I've met you in a lift. Is it? Have you just got one of those brains that you can remember situations and stories and things like that?
I'm brilliant with memories of situations. I'm terrible with names. I used to have to write the names of people we were interviewing, even if they were super famous, down on my brief. It's like, oh, Amy Schumer, oh, God. The thing that I have, though, is WhatsApp, social media, like all the things I wrote to my best mate, who's a broadcaster as well, the pictures that I sent, not very classy ones of me inside the palace, underneath the thing, taking pictures of my shoes, all immortalised in the movie now. So all of that...
You can access your WhatsApp messages.
I can. Unlike other people, no comment, I can access my WhatsApp. So I had, like, a living, breathing, kind of, like, vibe from everything that I'd written to my friends, the stories that I'd told them, the things I'd written down myself.
So how hard or easy was it to book on Newsnight anyway? Because it's, you can't go on Newsnight frivolously. You've got to, if you're going to be interviewed by Emily Maitlis, you've got to know your stuff, you've got to have your wits about you. So that would kind of make it more difficult for you to book people in the first place, I'd say.
Oh, totally. Complete underdog on booking content because, who in their right mind, let's be frank, would want to go, unless you're a minister or, you're selling a book or a movie, why would you go and take that risk, right? So my job was persuading people to go on against their interests, basically. So I spent my time trying to get them to do something they probably shouldn't have done.
So take us back to that time tell me when the moment kicked in, you thought, oh, my goodness, I've got an interview with Prince Andrew.
It was so late because I'd been dealing with the palace for a year. And I think the thing that I love about this movie, if I could just say, is that, I'm an ordinary woman who ended up in an extraordinary situation. And, of course, everyone's seen the interview, but this is the 95% before that with my colleagues and, Esme, who was the editor, Stu was the deputy editor, Amanda Thirst, played by Keely Hawes, who I was dealing with. So it all started a year prior, and it was only on the Monday, so we're now 13 months in, the Monday when I met Prince Andrew face-to-face with Emily and Stuart, with his daughter sitting next to him in Buckingham Palace, as close as we are, Alison. You're Prince Andrew right now, forgive me.
OK.
Yeah. Emily Maitlis would have been here at this cushion. It was only then on the Monday I thought this could actually happen. And on the Tuesday morning, they said yes. And I dropped my phone. I could not believe that they had said yes.
So for that 95% of the film, are we seeing people telling you shouldn't be doing this or you can't do it or what are we going to get from it? Or,
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, it's a story of journalism, you know, to be pretentious momentarily, you know, aside from me being played by Billie Piper, which is hugely thrilling for me, you know, this interview did something really important, and the story of how it happened is the thing I get asked.
Yeah.
How did this happen? Why on earth did he agree to do it? And it's a story of women, to be honest, not to alienate you here, Dermot, forgive me. But, you know...
I know many women.
Many women, exactly, you know.
Very important in my life.
Exactly that. Women journalists, and Amanda Thirst, the private secretary, Esme, played by Romola Garai, who was the editor at the time. Of course, the icon that is Emily Maitlis and Gillian Anderson, two icons.
Yeah.
But the story of how that came about, obviously, is 95% of the tale in my life, and the interview is 5%, and the movie reveals all of that.
So how much input did you actually have? I know you was executive producer. So are you, like, going on set every day? Are you friends with Billie Piper now?
Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I tried to keep it classy and I seriously failed. Yeah, so I'm an executive producer. I thought that meant really, like, it just sounded posh. But in truth, it meant I was involved right at the beginning, the screenplay, the screenwriter. I went on set first week once, keeping it classy. By the end, I was on every day.
Yeah.
It was
so much fun.
Oh, it was so fun. And also, I offered to go by public transport. They're like, there's a driver. I had a driver. I was pretty excited about that.
You're living your best life.
I was living my best life. Someone brought me a coffee.
Like,
I mean...
the exec thing is interesting because a lot, you know, whenever it happens, it's like, yeah, all that great stuff, but also with that comes quite a lot of responsibility as well.
I mean, I feel, you know, I do feel a big responsibility because, of course, it wasn't just me. It was a team of people.
Yeah.
There's other people represented here. You know, Amanda Thirst represented, who lost her job after this happened. She was his chief of staff. Prince Andrew himself, Princess Beatrice, and, of course, the people who were affected by these allegations, which, of course, he denies. But, you know, there's a lot of people involved here, and you're enjoying yourself, of course, but it's a very serious responsibility, and I love that Netflix have been by my side during that serious responsibility.
Obviously, you raised it there. Also worth stressing Princess Andrew's response. Prince Andrew has always vehemently denied wrongdoing and has claimed to have no recollection of ever meeting Virginia Giuffre. Casting-wise, where did you start with? Did you start with a blank sheet, or did you always have the idea of Billie playing you, or and Gillian, you know, playing Emily? Because I mean,
God, I know.
Because obviously, we've only just met you, but just looking at her mannerisms there,
the walk.
She's such a great actor anyway, isn't she, Gillian Anderson? But we all know Emily Maitlis. She's sort of part of the fabric of, like, if you're into news, you know Emily and her style and her mannerisms and her sort of how she speaks and stuff. And she looks like she's absolutely got it.
It's like putting together a jigsaw puzzle. The same with Billie and the same with Gillian. I mean, you know, Emily's an icon. Gillian's an icon. I mean, you know, two icons, you know, and Billie and I were doing well as well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
But, you know, you literally see it come together in terms of the mannerisms, the costume. I mean, obviously, Gillian's wearing a wig. Billie wears a wig. You look really itchy. I'm sorry, Billie, about that. Billie's hair is very different to mine. And putting together, coming to my house, meeting my, 8 items of black clothing, costume, putting those together, you know, my Topshop boots. Sorry, other boots are available. But you start with nothing and you build a jigsaw puzzle, and by the end, and that's why I'm not breathing when I look at that trailer, I mean, people could not tell us apart. I'm on set and people are shouting, Billie, why are you here? And I'm like, I'm Sam. I mean, even just now, you know, with people I'm with, everyone got so confused. There was a picture in the Mail. I'm not dissing the Mail are great, but they confused me and Billie and had Billie kissing my boyfriend. It all got very strange.
Brilliant.
But yeah, it's uncanny, and the effort and the work that's put into it is mind-blowing.
Do you think it helped that you had Philip Martin, who obviously directs The Crown? Did that help the situation? Because he knows how to deal with the royals, and it looks beautiful, doesn't it?
Doesn't it look sensational?
Yeah.
I mean, Philip's amazing. He had worked on The Crown, and I felt much happier having him because I felt he had an understanding of the mix of seriousness, of course, a serious issue, but also the frivolity of being in a newsroom. It gets a bit aggro now and again. You know, there's lots at stake. I obviously don't dress in a particularly serious way, you know, and I have quite a high personality.
Yeah.
So he was so good at marrying the beauty of his vision with the seriousness and the frivolity, if you like, of making a piece of entertainment. Because after all, we want you to enjoy it. And that's, I think, what's so sensational about Philip.
Has that been an issue for you? Like being... Because, you know, I've been a little bit around news. You dip your toe into it. It's quite serious and can be quite dour and doesn't have particularly an awful lot of sense of humour. And like you said, you're quite extra. So,
I am quite extra.
Right?
I think you can take the quiet out of it.
So do people underestimate you? Have they always underestimated you because of that? Because
I think so.
dressing in black and such, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. I think one of the reasons I was really successful at the job actually was because people did underestimate me. It's been that way all my life. I started as a criminal defence barrister. You know, people would look behind me when I went for meetings at banks looking for Sam, not understanding that was me.
Yeah.
And I've never really capitulated to changing who I am.
Great.
In the nicest possible way.
Why would you?
Leave
Absolutely.
It. Absolutely. And it is really nice to be able to just enjoy all of that. But you're right, the line between fact and fiction, as someone who's always dealt in fact, and if you don't get it right, you could get sued.
Yeah.
That kind of merging has been something that Philip and Netflix have kind of held my hand through, because I'm so used to everything being 100% accurate.
Sure.
And this is drama, so it's a merging of the two worlds.
Did it throw you off at the time when Beatrice came into the room?
Oh, my God, yes. Can you imagine? You've gone to talk to Prince Andrew in Buckingham Palace, you know, with your boss and your other boss, you know, about the biggest interview in the world, and you're talking about difficult subjects, and then he brings his daughter. I mean, it was the curveball of curveballs. I'm not easily disconcerted, but I have to admit, even I was impressed by that as a curveball.
Did you think at that moment that maybe the interview was not going to go out? When you saw her?
Well, when she came, it was at the negotiation she came to. I felt that it was going to be difficult for me to approach him the way I was expecting to negotiate with him. I knew what kind of personality he was. As you can tell, I'm quite robust. I thought I'd be looking to make that human connection to persuade him, and her being there definitely did change that dynamic in a big way.
How's your life changed now, Sam? Because presumably you... I mean, I don't know if you want to, but you can't go back to doing that job now to a point, can you? Because where do you go? And also, you're sort of a bit more recognisable now, or... I don't know if that would make a difference, but so...
I did get recognised on the bus the other day, guys.
Did you?
Yeah. I mean, they thought it was Emily Maitlis, but it's a small
detail. Did you have a selfie?
They did have a selfie.
So did you... Has your career path kind of changed trajectory now to a point?
Yeah, it really has. I mean, I loved the job that I did. I was a part-time worker, bringing up a kid on my own, and lucky me to be able to go to Buckingham Palace one day and, you know, sandpit the next.
Yeah.
So it wasn't all glamour. I worked really hard and I loved the job. But there are new things I'm doing now. So I teach, actually, at the London School of Economics.
Oh, wow.
I'm a visiting senior fellow, guys. Don't know what it means, but it sounds super impressive. I teach negotiation, and maybe there'll be another book. You know, I do speaking. That's how I sort of, like, pay the bills. So I've closed the door, I suppose, and they maybe have closed the door on me. But I enjoyed every second, and I'm enjoying every second of this, of course.
Well, I can't wait for this to come out. It's on Netflix. It's called Scoop, and it's launching on the 5th of April. Thank you so much, Sam. It's so lovely to meet you.